The sex revolution also gave many homosexuals the confidence to declare themselves and their needs publicly. Others still consider the social stigma too great and choose to hide their sexuality in... Can a marriage under those circumstances stay together? Can it succeed at all?
Yes, very definitely. And anybody who finds him or herself in this situation needn't panic.
For a very long time, sexuality and gender identity have had major impacts on many lives. In this video, there will be issues that have been often brushed off and issues that we are still fighting for today.
So when we had our first child and it was a girl, I was a little disappointed because I did want, I wanted a son.
The very first thing that when David was born, what did you do?
It is an abomination for a man to lie with a man as a female.
This is not
tired of being abused and beaten and bashed and killed.
I don't like to see noisy girls, active girls, rambunctious. I'd like them to be, ladylike, for want of a better word.
June 28th, 1969, the beginning of the Stonewall Uprising, an era where LGBTQ+ faced the police in what is referred to as a riot. But this was no riot. In fact, it was a rebellion, an uprising to stand up for the community. So the police raided a gay bar due to the bar being unlicensed, and it was their opportunity to harass the community that was built there. At the time of this, LGBTQ was at a peak of widespread social and legal discrimination. This time, the community fought back. The events that unfolded over the next 6 days would change the LGBTQ+ activism forever. Okay, what are we fighting for? Sexuality, identity, and acceptance. 1. Sexuality, a person's emotional, romantic, and/or sexual attraction to others. 2. Identity, who are you? What makes you, you? 3. Acceptance, living peacefully as humans together without leaving anyone out.
Mikey! Yeah! All right! Woo! All right! Mike, nice playing. Good shot. Good shot.
I think there is a difference between the relationship I have with my sons and my daughters. I think that I have it's a more active relationship with my sons. I'm involved in more physical kinds of activities with them, sports types activities, and I see my girls as girls, as not physical type people.
They have to engage in some kind of problem solving.
Okay, who's going to win today? I can't hear you.
The chores they're given are also chores that encourage them to be in the house. Children, it seems to me, develop then in different kinds of contexts. And the context for a little girl is more structured, it's more supervised, and it's more circumscribed.
Society's gender norms make things harder for LGBTQ+ because they're seen as breaking those expectations. Homosexuality was once considered a mental illness. The American Psychiatric Association, also called APA, published an article in 1952 classifying homosexuality as a sexual deviation, meaning that being LGBTQ+ meant that you were mental, since you weren't following the societal norm. This pushed the themes of homophobia and heterosexism that are still present to this day, being continuously oppressed to issues with mental health, poverty, access to health, and lack of social acceptance. Movements such as the Human Rights Campaign and the Trevor Project aim to break those barriers. The lack of healthcare and insurance the community face is more common in transgender individuals. The National LGBT Cancer Network states LGBT people are less likely to have health insurance than our heterosexual counterparts, partially because most employers do not offer coverage for unmarried domestic partners. Transgender people have the lowest insurance rates of all groups. Still, reproductive health and healthcare is vital to the individuals. Many transgender women are not provided enough opportunities, forcing them into sex work majority of the time.
Because they want to. Being a trans woman in the 80s, a lot of us did not have a choice.
For trans people, specifically trans people of color, sex work is often the only source of income that we have when we live our lives authentically. And so for me personally,
Of being abused and beaten and bashed and killed while this governor does nothing to save our lives. We are going to fight back.
Governor Wilson released a statement Sunday saying that the anti-discrimination bill would encourage lawsuits, burden business, and make California less competitive. Gay rights activists accuse the Republican governor of being anti-gay.
You know, I'm just free. I'm a free spirit. Like, I don't care what people think. They can look at me, they can stare at me, they can take pictures all they want. I just feel like I'm a human being that deserves to live and deserves to be treated with respect and equality just as well as everyone else.
Do you get a hard time sometimes?
I do, very much.
Back to the topic of mental health. We must remember that identifying with a gender or sexual orientation that is different than the norm is not a mental illness. 4.5% of the US population identifies as LGBTQ+, and over 39% reported having mental illness problems in the past year.
Likely to develop a mental health disorder such as depression or anxiety. That's according to the National Alliance on Mental Illness. It's a reality a teen from Black River Falls is living, struggling with his sexuality, which led to suicidal thoughts.
Stereotypes make members of the community feel uncomfortable opening up about their sexuality. Constant shaming because of who they identify as leads to depression and anxiety due to that fear of verbal and physical assault.
That's not what you were talking about. You use the word homos in the military. You have insulted thousands of men and women who have put their lives on the line.
I'm talking about you and liberals like you that keep the foreign defense.
At least 7 deaths in 2024 from violence motivated by anti-LGBTQ+ hate.
This is not a moral issue. This is not a religious debate. This is a human rights issue.
After 6 hours of this, city and county officials grew tired. They cut off testimony and voted.
But the 2015 ruling of Obergefell versus Hodges, which made the right to marry same-sex couples legal, this has influenced a more social acceptance of those of LGBTQ. Although it has been legalized, problems still persist. 12% of individuals say none of their family members have been accepting. While there is still a lack of representation and recognition for the LGBTQ+ community, many LGBTQ+ adults say that the acceptance rate has decreased from 10 years ago. This gives us hope for the future in current social justice movements.
Valentine's Day. Gay, lesbian, and unmarried heterosexual couples may now get official recognition as domestic partners. Hundreds of couples turned up at City Hall yesterday to obtain this new symbolic legal status.
Police expected the gay rights issue to explode when more than 2,000 people showed up to debate it.
And what do we do from here? We keep fighting for the rights of LGBTQ+, because no matter what you identify as, we are all human.
Gays say the war on AIDS isn't going fast enough, and reports of anti-gay violence are rising.
I was jumped on the street by 3 white older men last Saturday night, one of whom had a baseball bat. I have 2 cracked ribs and a cracked finger. My first day out was yesterday and today. I wouldn't miss it for the world.
Halloween is traditionally the night when San Francisco gays get together to celebrate their lifestyle. So they considered it a witch hunt when a Texas evangelist picked this night to launch a crusade against the city's pagan ways. It was a classic confrontation.
Stop the demonstration.
You said you supported AB 101 and gay and lesbian rights, but given the opportunity, you vetoed that bill.
Other demonstrators smashed windows and doors at a state government building in San Francisco. And some of the Los Angeles marchers clashed with police at the hotel where Governor Wilson was supposed to be spending the night.
I want to serve my country, and I only have good things to say about ROTC and the ROTC program. But until the military starts judging people on their abilities and their performance rather than their sexual orientation, universities should not support ROTC.
I don't want to fool anybody. I just want to live my life and have people accept me for who I am.
The renewed debate has prompted many Pentagon officials to predict the armed forces will be open to homosexuals in a few years.